Here. Diane Babbitt.
Excused.
Lori Goldberg. Chris Taylor.
Here.
Daniel Bianco. Here. Leon. Excused. Denise. Excused. Blanca. Excused. Barb. Here. Stephanie here. Doug. Here. Jay Van Schindler. Excused.
Cool. We could read the minutes from last meeting, or Molly.
Can I make a motion to suspend the reading?
Is there a second? From Luckily. Any discussion? Anybody really want to read the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, did we get any correspondence?
Request for District 13 fellowship. A letter from the PA Directive Summit. And coming from District 13, Local 23 SA on Adopt Child. 35. Oh. That's 35 days.
What?
Are we good?
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
We'll figure it out.
I'll try to do it right.
All right, Financial Secretary's report?
This is financial report for the month of October. The cash management meeting month for last report, $139,200.77. Total receipts per month is $9,772.09, bringing the total being accounted for $148,572.86. Total disbursements for the month of $5,344.91, bringing cash balance at the end of the month to $227,000.
Motion to accept the Financial Secretary's report. Molly, we'll make every motion today. Second, Ben. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
Cash on hand at the beginning of month for the last report was $139,200.77. Total receipts of $9,372.09. Total disbursements of $5,344.91. Cash balance at the end of the month is $146,227.95.
Motion to accept the report. Louis, seconded by RJ. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. So the president's report. Before I jump into the report, which is the 14-page document you have in the back, we have a couple new members, 3 new members that are here today. So we want to welcome you to Local 3637. Give you guys a chance to introduce yourselves. What are your names and where do you work?
What's your name, Wendy Williams?
Hi, I'm bringing right out with the county.
All right. We're glad to have all of you. We'll go back that we got to swear in. You guys are sworn in for our local union. Stand up. So I'll read the pledge of membership and you say like I do or like yeah or something like that. Recognizing the United Steelworkers is a strong labor organization dedicated to the advancement of my interests and the interests of all working men and women, and the strength of the union depends on the commitment which its members make to it and to each other. I do sincerely promise of my own free will to abide by the laws of the union, to bear true allegiance to and keep the influence of principles of the United Steelworkers, and never discriminate against our work. You're official now.
That's why one's in there.
You were supposed to go on the floor to give it a okay. So a handful of things in terms of my report. First, we had we were discussing in the last local union meeting that our morale around here has been low, and that often happens when we detach from the real reason for us doing our work, which is 650,000 badass members doing really amazing things every single day. So when the oil workers conferences in town. We had a happy hour over at Generally, a bunch of people came out, great success. Folks seem to like it. So we have additional conferences and other members coming into the building. We'll try to plan some additional social events so folks can, particularly folks who don't travel and get out in the field as much as some of us, can get a chance to meet more of our members. We also had a bunch of our Fight Back for activists come out, and that was that was something that was really positive as well. Did people who went have a good time at the event? Definitely giving thumbs up. As you all noticed, today's meeting is a week earlier than it normally is. That's because the last meeting of our month is Thanksgiving, or the last Thursday of the month is Thanksgiving, so we'll be back. The last Thursday of next month is Christmas, so that meeting will also be moved, back. We probably should have, let's add that to the business. We should have motion to do this one. Oh, we did.
Yeah, we did.
We did that. Oh, shit, we already did that. Did we do both of them? Okay.
But it's always the last Thursday, and then always.
Okay, if people don't think that we need a motion, then we'll take a motion. But next month's meeting also will. And a couple of folks who deal with different communication tools, the local, the email, the website, the text messaging, got together earlier this week. It's not really a committee, so it's not a committee report, but they came up with some ideas to better use our tools to remind people about the meetings. I think that those people signed text messages, got a text about an hour ago, encouraging you to be here. If you're not getting texts, if you want to get them, you should give Josh your cell phone number, and he'll add you to the list. There's also a way to do it online. We'll set up instructions for that as well. Connecting with the field, one of the things that we struggle with as a local union is we have members here in the building, and we also have folks who are all across the country, and it's tough to maintain a good, strong relationship with folks that are across the country. Dion was in District 9 last. Dion Babbage, our Vice President and Previous Chair, went out to District 9. He was District 9 during their fellowship meeting. Last month, they seemed super hyped about having Dion there. Dan Football, the district director, did not seem quite as excited about having Dion there. To kind of continue that tradition, Pam is going to be going up to one in December when they had their fellowship. So they've got a much better everybody had there. So we're going to continue doing this as the fellowships come up and try to get a member of the executive board to go out in the field, because that's how we maintain activists in the field, how we maintain connections to them. And then the big thing that kind of happened in terms of a business and a local issue is there are a lot of issues that we have been getting brushed aside and not adequately dealt with by the International Union, and the excuse has always been, well, we wait until after the convention. And after the convention, we had to wait for what? After the election. So the election's over, the convention's over. We haven't yet gotten the, we can wait until the holidays. But we put together everything we could think of that was an outstanding issue. And on November 10th, we mailed a 12-page letter to USW explaining that we wanted answers to all of our outstanding issues. Deanna and I are going to meet with groups at 2:15 today, and probably Jen and Ginger, to go over this. They're consistent. They have positive answers on a lot of these things. So hopefully we will be able to reduce our 12-page list of issues down to a manageable 4 or 5 pages of of things that they're not responding to us on. At some point, we may need to take action together to put a little additional pressure on them to be responsive to the issues that we're dealing with. And then the last thing that I want to bring up is not in the report, which is something that came up yesterday. And this is something that I'm pretty pissed off about. We for the first time in any of our memory have a competent staff rep. Ross Rowland is our assigned staff representative. There was an incident. There was an investigation going on in one of our sub-district offices where Ross happened to work, where one of our members needed representation. So rather than have a member of the grievance committee drive out there, we thought the logical thing to do would be to have our staff representative who's right there sitting in that office. And the international said, no, you can't sit in the office, you can't work for us and also argue against us, which is interesting because like, what do we do? So, and that also raises all sorts of questions about like, why are we permitting 64% of our dues union if we can't get any representation of services, then we can cut our staff out of that issue. So that means that particular meeting is rescheduled for next week. We'll provide representation. That issue, the issues being dealt with, and that's something that moved through the process that the grievance committee overseeing that is very, very much a positive. But what I wanted to bring to the membership is this issue with the fact that we're a steelworker local. We have an assigned staff representative. As soon as our assigned staff representative, steps up to do his job and represent us, they slam him down and they say, no, you can't work for us and represent them. But we work for us, you represent us. So it's like, what the hell is going on? So that's something I want people to be aware of. Are there any questions about any of that report or anything to add?
Yeah, I guess I would. I'd like to hear from Ross about what was communicated to him when he was given the assignment. Because it doesn't make any sense to me. You get assigned to stop where you're not supposed to do anything. And I agree that this should be a ULP. We should be able to pick our representative, and he is our assigned representative. So they've already picked him for us, and they still won't let us use him. So I guess I'd be interested to hear from Ross's take on all of this.
Yesterday I was actually really surprised because last week there was a meeting and they came to me and said, hey, we want you to sit in as a union representative for this person. Which is fine, I did it. Now this week, when there's another meeting with other people and personnel involved, it was, no, you're not going to sit in this meeting. You're going to sit here and argue with me. And I don't understand it. When they put me on, they didn't tell me, hey, don't represent these people. Local no different than any other local I have. And I'm going to represent the people of this local the same as any other local. It doesn't matter who's sitting with us.
All right. So where does it sit then? We're waiting for a response, like all these other responses, as to a clarification as to whether Ross is our assigned rep or what?
So this issue came up well after we sent the letter. This came up yesterday. So it was included in that letter. We're going to bring up that issue. The question of, listen, if we can't have a representative that represents us, then we shouldn't be paying the dues back to them. We should keep that for ourselves. And if we need to hire outside counsel to do stuff, we use that money for that, not for the organization. Hell, we already paid $300 a month for our office in here. Everything's in their office space. We pay $300 a month for that grade A office space. So At this point, I mean, my position is if you want Ross, in a meeting on our behalf, then we're going to bring Ross, on our behalf. That said, I also understand the reality of, I don't want to have a fight about Ross's status in somebody else's previous meeting. That's not fair to that person. So I want, we have a responsibility to our members to adequately represent them and not muck up their grievance process. So we're going to take that very, very seriously. And the other thing is listen, I mean, we're pissed off about it. We're going to cause havoc about it. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen? We're going to complain enough, and Ross is going to get a different assignment. We're going to get Linda Green back. And we'll proceed for Linda Green at all of our meetings. And we'll just go back to the status quo. So, I mean, it's, who knows what, exactly what's going to happen. This is, I don't think anybody anticipated that by assigning us confidence staff representative was content for himself, we were going to end up in, they were going to end up in a situation where we would actually keep our presenting us. So, I mean, like, that's where, but at the end of the day, like, we put hard enough, and like, that's where it goes, and Linda comes back, Ross gets a much more annoying assignment than us. But I'm not going to allow the fight about Ross to impede our ability to represent our members.
I'll tell you, Patrick, one of the nice things about Ross, what you just said, is they didn't try to influence him at all. They usually could. So instead, they just stay out. So they weren't going to, they knew the quality of service that he's going to give. He's going to give the same to every local he's assigned to. And so they knew they couldn't change that, so they said, you just go stay out. So, you hate to lose a good rep.
This is different issue. Sure. Wondering if you could address the groups too, that some people that are requesting, get their pensions so that they can decide whether they want to retire or not. They don't even get a response to email or if there's something we can push on this. I mean, they don't know their figures, they can't decide whether
Yeah, I mean, that's a big problem, particularly now that the new and improved thoroughly and comprehensible pension program. So that's a big deal. I would encourage, if folks are in that case, in that situation. I mean, we bring this up on a regular basis. The Paul is very, very slow at responding on this, and we haven't been able to deal with to get it dealt with like Paul moves faster. But when there's a specific person who isn't getting their answer and they come to us, we've been able to go to roots and say we need this and get it dealt with. So yeah, we'll bring it up as a kind of as a broader issue. But if people are trying to make decisions about their future, they're not getting the information they need. Then involve us, and we'll break through that logjam to make sure that you get the information.
okay.
Anything else going on? Any other questions? Cool. Let's move on to whatever. I don't care. We'll start with safety and health. Okay.
Down in here, we have a long safety and health report. And the report is typed up, it's on the table, it's on the wrong table. So some of you came in early, might have missed it. But down in here, would you like to summarize this? Since there's 5 pages.
As a result of some requests that I got, I put together a health and safety report for some of our members on the status of both the ambulance-free accessible handicapped bathrooms, and I have not gotten to the wheelchair accessible ones yet. And also as a result of complaints about the wheelchair ramp, about there being a lift for passengers. So one of our members having difficulty going over. And as a result, I put together this report with some pictures. I don't have a picture in there of the other list yet. So I can certainly put that in. And my question from the group is, first of all, my suggestion is that on each floor that we have at least an ambulatory accessible handicap bathroom, because many people have already needs, that sort of thing. And that we should have something like one stall that's more accessible. The second question was, we talked about having another wheelchair accessible bathroom, and my question was, should that be put in as well?
So can this be dealt with, I was hoping that this could be appended to the president's report and taken into the meeting this afternoon as a additional background.
Yeah, I mean, so the issue of an additional wheelchair accessible restroom is one that we have been going back and forth on for a long time. We thought we had a commitment that we were going to put one of those restrooms on the upper floors. We've not yet seen it. We've also seen and heard about floor plans that don't include that. And just for everybody's information, it's not a matter of just taking out one of the stalls and the 3 stalls. It's actually got to be in a different place. There's not, the way the building is configured, it's got to be, it can't be, there's not space in there, in the current restrooms to make a full accessible restroom there. So they were looking at moving other office spaces and doing something like that. We suggested the 11th floor is the place to put it. There was space and there was a need there. So that's something that is still open and we're pushing for a response on. We brought up at one point the issue of the height of the toilet seats as in general, and Kim Siegfried insists that they're exactly the same height as the old toilet seats and you measure them. Whether or not that's true, whether or not that's true, is unclear. But the new question about should we have one seat that's higher, an ambulatory accessible seat on each floor? That's a relatively easy fix that we can bring to them. That's a new thing. And then what the hell's going on with the wheelchair ramp is something that we also have to ask better about. But this is the first time we brought that to their attention. So we can definitely bring all this stuff up.
Okay, not a problem, and I can certainly provide detail exactly where those are, and not use it as measurements, and I'll send it more than a quarter inch.
Okay. All right. What's next? Rapid response. We'll just incorporate it within the I don't think anything requires. Okay. Pat?
No.
No report. New member committee. No report.
Now we're setting dates. We have a new hire committee started the 16th that we welcome on the 11th floor. Other than that, we're just keeping it more.
Cool. Organizing committee. I can give the report part of it. So my backstage work which is a project of organizing committee, is continuing to kick ass. We've got the intern funded by the Burger Marks Foundation. He's organizing a series of women's caucuses and women's events. I think it'll be a really great synergy with steelworkers, women's steelworkers. So I encourage. I know that you guys are pretty good contact.
Could I have contact you as a time resource here? Thank you.
Yeah. Rachel, let's fight back. Work.org. That's her email address. The Children's Museum campaign, which grew out of the Worker Justice Hotline, is continuing. We actually filed some court charges about some illegal threats in the promises they were making. The student group that is part of Pittsburgh had a rally yesterday up on its campus, part of the American Student Movement Day of Action. And the big thing they're mobilizing for is December 4th, the same day as our holiday party. That is the next national fast food strike. Fast food strike is going to be downtown, so they're probably going to be shutting down the McDonald's down sandwich. So if you guys eat your breakfast there, you might want to think about that day and come up with that action. And we also have a crew of lockout workers from Lockout Title Metropolis community rolled town as part of a broader trip. And John Leslie's going to host a brown bag lunch. Somebody's going to host a brown bag lunch with them. It's moving on Friday, December 5th, and there's going to be a benefit show for them. Zeno's Pub on that evening. An email will go out about both of those things.
The USPA board will be here the week of like the first week of December. So anything that's going on, we could take it up there as well.
Oh, cool.
There's like I forget, I think 20 maybe. And they're from US and Canada. So
It'd be really cool to take like the fast food strike.
Yeah.
Do some like
That's what I was
on-space documentation.
yeah.
Absolutely. We'll take it all back. Some stories.
We just have to be aware of their like meeting schedule, but it should work.
Yeah. Well, fast food strike happens like first thing, it's like
Yeah.
first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Tell them to bring their flashes. How many of them are there?
There's less than 20. I can let you know for sure because I am not the one who got all the RSVPs. So I can. Jim would know, but I mean, I'm sure they would appreciate it. They're really great people, so I can let you know how many if you want.
Yeah, we should be good. I mean, if we do that, we should make sure the culprit knows they don't order lunch for them that day.
Yeah, yeah. I'll let you know. He's coming in. I will.
All right. Bylaws committee.
So the bylaws committee really wants input from everyone on what kind of changes, if any, we should make to the bylaws. So to that end, we have prepared a very brief survey, which we'll distribute electronically and for people to field, and we'll utilize the CAC team to get out the people in the building. And we're really going to hound you on these. So let that serve as a warning. You'll have to deal with me or someone else. We're going to come by and pester you on these. Let's be honest. Bylaws are not sexy. If you think they are, you need help. But they're very important to how this local union runs. They determine what sort of functions our officers do, what special committees we have, any other sorts of things. If you have questions, please feel free to ask someone on the committee, myself, Josh, Jenny Van Schindel, or Jamal Craig. So look forward to getting the survey and from dealing with one of us on getting that back, okay?
What do you mean bylaws aren't sexy? Can't work by it, it's not that different. Civil rights committee.
We have a bunch of things going on. The first item is the AFL-CIO has unrolled, has launched Common Sense Economics curricula that has different modules with the goal of reaching 1 million folks in the all over the country. So they launched the first piece of it and ran a train the trainer in Maryland. I can't remember when that was. Last spring, I think it was. They have different modules as follow-up to that. They have a module on young workers. They have a module on immigration. They have a module on now they have a module on mass incarceration, the huge problem of mass incarceration and what labor's response needs to be to that. And so we've been in touch, Doug and I have been in touch with the lead person on this with the AFL-CIO Civil Rights Department. They're looking to schedule a train the trainer in early December. We don't have the dates of that yet, but the committee is recommending that the local pay lost time and expenses for Doug Ward and myself to go and attend that training with the goal that we would come back. We had talked about using this, organizing a training around this issue with community organizations as a way of getting our CBTU chapter back up and active again. And obviously, as the LACLA chapter would be, is also impacted by this issue, so we want to be part of that. So we're going to be asking that the local, we're going to be making a motion that the local do that. And this will also be part of a training that goes on at the Civil Rights Conference in Atlanta in January. We just touched on briefly that we do hope that the local will follow through on its commitment to make the information request for the latest EEOC report that the International submitted. In terms of the LACLA chapter, we have a major, what we think is a pretty important event here tomorrow at 12 noon. We're holding a press conference here in the building. I would love to have strong turnout from folks here in the building come out and attend that. It's to show support for President Obama's executive action that he'll be announcing this evening. That's going to allow millions of undocumented folks to be able to get legalized and get work authorization, at least temporarily. So he's going to get a lot of backlash against this. We want to show him that we have his back, that this is the right thing to do. And so LACLA, 32BJ, SEIU 32BJ, SEIU Healthcare, Casa San Jose, the American Friends Service Committee, PIN, a number of different groups are going to be here tomorrow at 12 noon to show our support and hold this conference. So I would really love to see our local out and supporting us on that. Yes, absolutely. So I would also ask that the local also do what they can to promote the conference tomorrow noon. Yeah. So we just now scheduled the conference like a half hour ago. So we're trying to turn that around. The administration didn't say exactly when they were going to make this announcement until like yesterday morning. So we've been scrambling for that. The AFL CIO MLK Civil and Human Rights Conference is going to be in January. I know that the executive board had some discussion about what to do in terms of sending folks. The Civil Rights Committee had in mind to send Doug and Rachel Serban, but I know another person from the field put in for that. So I don't know. We're still trying to figure that out, I guess.
Our position is you guys decide.
Okay.
And you just, it was unclear about where the requests go, and one request came in, so we want you guys to make a decision with all the requests.
Okay.
You want more.
All right, so we will do that. Great news on Pride at Work. Their first conference call was held in November. They got participation from the USW, SEIU, UFCW, and we have a couple people. Joshua Orasky from the legal department has been involved in that from the get-go, and Rachel Serban, one of the members of our Civil Rights Committee, is actually going to run for officer position in that as well. So it's really terrific that the steel workers are going to be very much involved in creating a statewide Pride at Work chapter here in Pennsylvania. So I think that's really great news. And then finally, we welcome the new member to our committee, Elizabeth Flo from District 2, has joined our committee.
All right. And we're going to take up the first motion during the just one, as a point of privilege, one kind of announcement continuing something that you guys brought to us before. Several meetings ago, we passed a resolution regarding shooting like Brown and Ferguson. It's very, very likely that tomorrow the grand jury will issue no indictment. And that the prosecutor's office will hold that announcement until Sunday, when they'll make the announcement of 10 a.m. God knows what's going to happen in St. Louis, but here in Pittsburgh, people who are concerned about the lack of accountability to that level of police brutality, we'll meet at the federal building down in Reagan Street at 5 o'clock that day, and then DA calls office at 2 o'clock the next day. It's whatever day, so it's likely that the announcement's going to, that grand jury's going to make their determination tomorrow. And then, school, superintendent's there. They actually when the riot starts at school. The pro tip, if you know that you're going to cause a riot by what you're doing, maybe you should think about that. But so it's unclear when that's going to happen. Fundraising, the social public.
Just one comment, I may have made this comment before, I just want to make sure everyone's aware of it. His mother is a USW. That was brought up in like 2 meetings, so I just wanted to make sure that everybody is aware that there is a labor.
The fundraising, we're having our social, our holiday party on summer 4th. Everyone's welcome. If you didn't sign up, there's a sheet back here. Make sure you sign up. Ross, you're also welcome. So sign up and come. Like, we'll have good food and have a good time.
Where's that, Bob?
In my lobby too.
Grievance committee.
The grievance report in the back. There really haven't been any changes from last time. We're still waiting for answers in the 2014-07 leave appeal to arbitration.
Okay, we are on to old business.
Yeah, we have a letter regarding Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Civil Rights Conference, Civil Rights Conference.
There's motion to send 2 people to civil rights commission side.
Then there's a rapid response time.
Okay. So that is outstanding. Last month we voted to send 2 people. So far only 1 person from the field has put in. No one from the building has put into a rapid response conference. You need to email Lori by the end of January if you want to go. You need to have function rapid response. Okay. New business.
We don't, I looked at last month's minutes, and we don't have a motion to change next week's meeting to today, and we don't have a motion to change December's meeting to the week prior. So we'd like to.
I'll make a motion to move both meetings.
A motion to move both meetings up a week. Second by Molly. Any discussion? All in favor? Anybody opposed? All right.
December 13th, fellowship, $25.
So our Sister District team, as we have our fellowship event here in the building, they can't come in for our holiday party. So they have theirs whenever they get together in their different meetings. Our team has requested that we fund their fellowship. It's traditionally fund up to $25 a person, so we're recommending that.
We're gonna make that motion.
Molly made that motion. Second by Louis. Molly and Louis.
Yeah.
Any discussion? All in favor? Anybody
You
opposed?
could have a sit down.
Motion carries. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sorry, yeah, I'm trying to find something. The Progressive Summit, February 6th, 7th in Harrisburg, $60 per person registration.
So the key board recommends that the theme of the Progressive Summit is sometimes a good event, sometimes not a great event. But it's a great time, it's a great opportunity to get together with folks from other social movements and other communities. It's in Harrisburg, it's on a Friday and Saturday. So we recommend that we send 2 people with lost time and expenses. So there's 1 day of lost time and their expenses. And if you email Lori, you want to go by December 15th. So that's the recommendation. Is there a motion? Billy. Billy?
Yeah, usually AAM participates in that, and I usually don't get to see that.
If there's a way to shake down Ike, we'll do it.
Yeah.
But we still need to get them there, we need to pay for their 1 day off, so a motion would still be in order for lost time expenses.
So moved.
Billy, seconded by Josh, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
District 13, adopt the child 235A, local 235A.
So, the folks at Children of Lumina, recently were locked out of their jobs, in Texas. That's, you know, with our vice president grievance chair being District 13, beyond connected to, what's going on. They're asking for locals to adopt children, by courses for them. Rather than doing a collection, we're going to shake people down for collections for the Honeywell folks when they come to your town. We recommend that we allocate $250 for Dion or Julie to go out and buy some supportive books for one of their kids. Buckley? Second? Carol? Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Guillermo, you want to make the motion?
Yes, so, I would move that the local, send myself and, Doug Ward to a 3-day train the trainer, sponsored by the AFL-CIO, with, lost time and expenses covered in, early December.
Is there a second?
Is Lambert?
No, it's in DC.
Who's the second? The executive board, supports this, recommends, sending them. Is there any discussion? Oh, Guillermo made a motion, second by Louis. And is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there any other new business? Any other new business? Is there any good welfare?
I just want to remind people if you want to donate a sweatshirt during the holidays, going to the 6th grade students or private middle school mentor program. If you don't have a hooded sweatshirt from a university or any type of school, they will take a donation in my office before the end of the day. And thanks to everybody who already donated. Thanks.
Any other good welfare? Announcements, things going on? Okay, motion to pay all bills? By Molly, second by Louis. Molly and Louis show. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn? By RJ, seconded by Josh. All in favor?
Aye.